Let me say this, I've had some input into the bill, and it's probably worth just setting out what I think about the bill and the media landscape in general. I think the first thing to say is that all issues in respect of the news media should be opened up. For example, we have a Defamation Act that is now 50 years old and needs comprehensive review. The Defamation Act doesn't really give enough latitude to journalists in particular to go out and demand accountability from public officials. It should have, for example, better rules for public interest privilege. Deepak's talked about the Crimes Act and how the Crimes Act is being used against the news media. We have issues of online safety, we have issues of privacy, and all of these issues need to go into a much wider consultation. Questions of cross-media ownership, questions of foreign ownership, those are also legitimate questions, for much wider consultation. Some countries have rules about foreign ownership, some countries have rules about cross-ownership, some do not. And I think what the bill has done is preserve the status quo. In other words, the rules on cross-ownership are left as they were in the media decree. The rules on foreign ownership are left as they were in the media decree. Is that right? That's a question of opinion, because after all, as I think Vijay said, the media, before the media bill, there were no rules on cross-media ownership. There were no rules on foreign ownership. The media bill arrived one day. The media had 2 hours, I think, to offer its views on it, and then it went straight up in its form as a decree. So, which status quo ought to be preserved? The one before the media decree was imposed, or the one, as it stands right now? And those are legitimate questions, I think, which have to be asked. So, there's a whole range of things which need to be reviewed, and which will probably take a bit of time to review. I mean, even in this room, it's interesting. There are different views being expressed about foreign ownership, and I think the point is made that if you allow foreign ownership, you get better investment, better input, and possibly a stronger news media. On the other hand, not all foreign ownership is benign. And we have to be a little bit careful about what we wish for here. But these are issues that have to be opened up and fully explored. So what the priority was, obviously, in this bill was getting rid of all of the content regulation in the MEDA, in the Media Industry Development Act, and that's done. It's all gone. So the concerns of journalists, I think, around that, I hope, are addressed. There's no media tribunal, there's no media industry development authority, anything like that. It's really back to the common law. I think the idea of the Fiji Media Council, being restored is a great thing. I agree with William, that should be community-driven. There's no real role for the government in that. Obviously, content regulation always had two parts. There was the Fiji Media Council part, where you could go and complain to the council. The council was a group of media organizations, and so if you offended the media code, you suffered the judgment of your peers. Media Council was made up of all media, and if they felt that somebody had been treated unfairly, the Media Council said so. The problem with that was if you went to the Media Council, you waived your legal rights. You could not go to court and issue proceedings. So you had to choose between whether you went to the Media Council or you went to court. Now, bringing that process back, I think, is a good thing, and I think that's what the media owners want to do. So that, I think, is welcome, and that deals with the question of content. Citizens have the opportunity to bring their complaints to the Media Council in a relatively quick and inexpensive way. If they want to take more drastic steps, it's open to them to go to the courts, which takes a lot longer and is a lot more expensive. But you then at least have a balance of opportunities for people who feel aggrieved. The last piece, I think, is the registration piece, and I think the point has been made: why register news media organizations at all? That's also, I think, a valid viewpoint. I think in countries such as South Africa, for example, there's absolutely no registration. And that is, from a government which has a legal regime and a constitution that strongly values free speech. Williams made the point about the old Newspaper Registration Act, which is kind of where the registration provisions in the media decree came from. Without getting too technical about it, the old Newspaper Registration Act, as William said, applied in a time when there were multiple printers and people who pushed out pamphlets and all kinds of things. And so it was not as easy to prove who published material. Surprisingly, that's still the case. And issues of formal proof around who is responsible for broadcasting or publication are still live. I think, for example, if we were to take another look at the Defamation Act and modernize that, that might go a long way to addressing those kinds of registration issues. But the registration issue is really about ensuring that if you're holding the media accountable through defamation proceedings or criminal proceedings, that there is a way that you can actually do that. As I said, I think if there is a much broader look at the entire media landscape and all the rules and laws that regulate the media landscape, that's actually what is needed. I think the priority, though, in this bill is to get rid of, once and for all, the content regulation that was really so pernicious and so anti-democratic in the Media Industry Development Act.